Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Sam, or Chaotic, and welcome back to another GTA 5 video here on my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 10 more tips, tricks, and secrets with you guys that you may not know and need to know about the latest update in GTA Online, the San Andreas Supersport Series update. Now, despite how small this update was, it's one of the smallest ones we've had in the last year, there were still loads of additions and changes made to GTA Online. And this is episode 2. If you guys haven't watched the first one, of course I'd recommend doing so. There is a link in the description. Definitely go and check that out after watching this one. But first, let's go ahead and jump straight into this video and start things off with the first tip or trick that you guys may not know. So with the release of this update, Rockstar have finally made changes to races and jobs in GTA Online, specifically the weather type. Now, prior to this update, as I'm sure you guys know, when you go ahead and set up your own job, you have the option to change the weather with just 3 options to choose between. Those were clear, sunny, and raining. But, as you guys can see in the gameplay, with the addition of this update, Rockstar have added a lot more weather types to choose between when you're setting up your own job, with new options such as bright, smog, overcast, thunder, foggy, clouds, and so on. So for the first time ever since 2013, Rockstar have added a lot more weather types to races when you're setting up your very own job. And speaking of original features which have finally been changed or updated, when you now use the kill yourself option in the interaction menu, it affects your KD ratio. Obviously, every time you kill yourself, it will count as a death, whereas prior to this update, it didn't. You could use this option as many times as you wanted, and it had no effect on the number of deaths or your KD ratio. Now, I personally, like I'm sure many of you guys, don't really care too much for the number of kills or deaths that you have in GTA Online, but I know for a fact loads of those tryhard players out there do care what their KD ratio is and the number of kills and deaths they have, so obviously this new change is something to bear in mind for those players. Moving on to the third thing that you guys may not know, this involving my favourite vehicle from the updates, the Vapid GB200. Now, as I'm sure you guys know, whilst customizing this car, you have the option to fit the rally lights to the hood of the vehicle, like I have on mine right now. But for some reason, these rally lights do not work. When you turn on your headlights, no matter which option you have them on, whether it's just the standard headlight option or the full beams, the rally lights do not turn on. Now, I'm sure to some of you guys this feature won't matter all that much, but it's worth bearing in mind there are other vehicles in the game which also have the option of fitting rally lights just like these, and they work, but for some reason the rally lights on this vehicle from the new update, they don't. Presumably it's just an issue or a bug, something which Rockstar wasn't aware about when they added this car into the game, and I'm sure when Rockstar release their next update, which probably won't be until June or July, Rockstar will fix this and have these lights fully working. But until then, these lights are completely useless and only there for an aesthetic look. And the fourth thing you guys may not know, which I want to share with you guys in this video, also involves the Vapid GB200, specifically under the body itself. So to see this, what you guys want to do is open up all the vehicle doors, specifically the trunk, the section at the front, and as you guys can see when you go and take a look what's actually under the body paneling, you'll see a spare wheel. Now, at the moment, I have custom wheels on, and the wheel which is in the trunk itself is a stock wheel. But interestingly enough, whenever you change the wheel color on this vehicle, whether it's one of the stock wheels that you have fitted or wheels like the ones I have on, custom wheels, that wheel color in the trunk will change as well. So as you guys can see, I took the car into the custom shop, I changed the wheel color to red and opened up the trunk, and as you guys can see, the wheel in there has now changed color to red as well. That's a pretty cool feature in my opinion, only a small one, and again I'm sure some of you guys watching right now won't really care too much for that, but I know for a fact that some of you guys will appreciate small attention to details like that. It's just a shame that the front rally lights, which Rockstar have also fitted and are more noticeable, don't work. But smaller, insignificant things like this, a hidden wheel in the trunk, does work when you change the wheel color. Anyway, moving on to the next thing that you guys need to know about. Now, as I'm sure you guys know, the Lamprey Viscera, when it was added as a drip-fed vehicle with the last update, the Doomsday Heist update, was considered the fastest vehicle in-game due to a bouncing glitch with the suspension. This car was incredibly fast, and I think it achieved speeds of 146 to 147 miles an hour in a straight line, making it the fastest car by over 10 miles an hour. But with the release of this update, Rockstar have fixed this issue. It no longer has those suspension problems, so it doesn't quite achieve those speeds anymore. It's still pretty quick, and Rockstar have fixed the handling as well, which means around a track, it's a little better than what it was before, but it's no longer the fastest car in-game. That title has been restored to the Pariah. Moving on though to something involving the new Volcar Fagaloa, and I know for a fact that loads of you guys love this vehicle. In fairness, it is a pretty cool classic and retro vehicle which looks great in Snapmatics, but if you guys make your way to the covered fog lights option in the custom shop, down the bottom you have the option of fitting this additional license plate to the front of the vehicle. Then when you scroll down to the livery option and scroll through these liveries, as you can see at the top section of this license plate holder, a number is shown, and this number changes every time you change the livery. So obviously if you have none selected, one isn't shown, but when you do select a livery, you can see numbers such as 12, 30, 112, and so on are shown. And obviously each livery has its very own number, and obviously some of these numbers are shown on the livery. So for example, with Dirty 30 you have 30 on the side, but some liveries don't have any numbers actually shown in them. So why these have a number on the license plate, I'm not really too sure. And obviously right now there is a whole conspiracy and a whole theory going around that maybe this is a reference or an Easter egg to something, but honestly I'm not too sure. But it would be pretty cool if this was leading some form of mystery. Anyway, moving on to the next tip or trick. Now, although at the moment all the new vehicles in this update are pretty useless with their speed and performance being so bad due to the new engine mechanic that Rockstar implemented with this update, but hopefully Rockstar will fix this issue fairly soon, so vehicles like the new Chevrolet Typhoon won't be as useless as they currently are, because at the moment this is the second slowest car behind the Bullet. Either way though, until then, I have a pretty cool trick to share with you guys involving the new Chevrolet Typhoon if you guys, like myself, like the stock wheels on this car. Of course, with these being stock wheels, the same ones from the XA21, it is impossible to change the wheel color at the custom shop. But of course there is a bypass for this using the iFruit glitch. So for this, what you guys want to do is take the car into the custom shop and select the cheapest set of custom wheels you can find. Then select the wheel color you want to apply to the stock wheels and then drive out of the custom shop. From here then, on your mobile device, load up the iFruit app. If you guys haven't got it, go ahead and download it from the store. Unfortunately, I haven't got any gameplay of this to show you guys, but basically what you want to do, sign into your account, make your way to the custom shop on that app, then select this vehicle and choose stock wheels, and then select order. It's very simple and straightforward, and then a few seconds later you'll receive a text message in-game saying there is an order processing, make your way to the custom shop. So of course just turn around, go straight back inside, and then select process app order. And what that will then do is refit the stock wheels and transfer the custom wheel color you had selected on the previous set of wheels to the stock wheels. And as you guys can see, I selected red as an example. It's now transferred to the edges of the wheels. So there we go. Of course, this trick works with pretty much any set of stock wheels that you guys want to apply wheel colors to. It is a very simple and straightforward trick, and once again works with the new Chevrolet Typhoon and pretty much all the new vehicles from this update. Now, for those of you guys out there that have tried to double clutch in GTA Online ever since the release of this update, you might have found with some vehicles there is an issue with this. I'm not really too sure of the full list of vehicles that are being affected, but basically there are one or two in the game which when you try to double clutch, it basically breaks the car. I've seen a few videos and forum posts over the past few days from a few players reporting this issue. Vehicles like the Banshee are being affected the most, but basically when you try to perform the double clutch action, it completely stops the car from working. But like I said, this doesn't seem to be affecting all vehicles in GTA Online. Other players are reporting it's not affecting them, or at least the vehicles they are trying this with. So if you guys have had any problems with any vehicles whilst trying to double clutch in GTA Online over the past few days, ever since the release of this update, let me know right now what vehicles those were by leaving a comment on this video. And finally, the last thing I want to share with you guys that you may not know about regarding this update in GTA Online. You may recall with the last one, the Doomsday Heist update, Rockstar implemented a new anti-cheat system into the game which detected if players had more than $2 billion in their accounts. Of course, most players who have that sort of money are of course modding or have illegitimate money in their accounts, and basically what the game would do is stop them from doing most things, like paying their mechanic, paying the insurance costs and stuff like that. And every time they wanted to go and buy something or repair something, it would say insufficient money, even though they have over $2 billion in game. This being an issue which I know loads of players had problems with, even players who didn't even have $2 billion in their accounts. But Rockstar with this update have removed that anti-cheat system from the game, presumably because it was causing so many issues, like I said, also affecting players who didn't have more than $2 billion in their accounts. It was also affecting legitimate players, but either way it's no longer an issue because Rockstar have now removed that from the game with this update. Anyway, so there we go then guys, those are 10 things that you guys need to know that you may not know about the latest update in GTA Online. Of course, if you guys know of anything that's changed with this update which other players may not know about, of course go ahead and leave a comment on this video. If you guys could also drop a like as well, it would of course be greatly appreciated and it helps me out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do, because I upload all the latest and the greatest Grand Theft Auto 5 content. So as always guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.